Hey, brother Frank, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I just came inside from doing my own dueling tree, a DIY dueling tree that I did with a bunch of pop-up targets for my 22 long rifle,
Cool.
and I think it came up pretty good. I had the help from my 15-year-old and my 3-year-old. It was tough, dealing with them, but I got it done.
Nice.
Let me see if you can see it. Let me see if I can flip the camera. You see it right here?
Yep.
I mean, of course, from close it looks a lot better, but that thing came up pretty nice.
That is cool.
Yeah. So how's everything going?
Good. It's really windy today. I was gonna take my drone out and mess around, but too windy for that. Maybe tomorrow.
You know what? I honestly believe that you and I are related. are related because I got 17 drones, and I also love drones as well. That's insane. Really insane. Matter of fact, you probably think I'm joking. This is my DJI Mavic 3 Pro right here with the smart controller.
Wow.
Yep. And I got a lot more.
I was gonna actually experiment and take the drone to the range
Uh
and
huh.
have the drone record the shots on the target. That would be
Okay.
pretty cool.
I think that would be a pretty good view from above. I think it will.
Well, no, I don't even mean from above. I mean having the um, having the drone just sitting off to the side so that it can just record the shots and stuff.
Yeah. And also, depending on the drone that you have and the capability, it can also you can actually put it to follow you, and it can actually follow you from every angle. I mean, mine does that.
Yeah, I only have the DJI Mini 4.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, you have a little.
I'm sorry, I have the Mini 3.
Okay. Well, you got a little itty one that you don't have to register. Mine, I got actually registered through the FAA, and they are registered already. So mine's a lot.
Yeah.
Mine's way more than a pound.
Uh, I got the Mini 3 Good Friday because it was almost half off. It was, I don't know, regularly almost $700 with the color control,
Uh huh.
and I think I got it for, I don't know, it was like $480.
Oh, okay. And I see we got EAA. How you doing? We got Super Low 63 Ferrante. How you doing? Good seeing you. People already popping up in the chat. We already got 20 people already here.
Nice.
We got
Welcome everyone. Welcome back to Pro Gun.
We got P Flex.
And hello, Melody, and hey, Louie. How you doing there, my friend? And Fetch 83. Great to have you guys.
Thank you for popping in. We love the support.
So I spent the past couple weekends messing around loading ammo. So today, between last night and today, I loaded about 1,000 rounds of 357 ammo.
Okay.
With a single stage press, that's really a lot of work. But do you reload, Adrian?
No, sir. I do not have that. I don't have that machine. No, I don't. I want to. I'm actually thinking about it, but I need to buy the equipment first, and I don't have that.
Well, if any of you guys are thinking about reloading because you think it's cheaper, that is definitely not the case. Adrian and I, we were talking about it the other day. I did the math on it. By the time you go out and buy, reloading press and all the consumables and things like that, you'd have to reload about 7,000 rounds to break even. But
Wow, that's a
it's
lot of
not,
rounds.
yeah, but it's not really the money; it's the availability. Like I'll never, I'll never have an ammo shortage.
Okay.
Um, you know, you, I stocked up on the consumables long before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, you don't build the ark after it starts raining, right? So um, the main benefit really is you always have availability. Like during the pandemic,
Yeah.
even if you had the money, sometimes you just couldn't buy it. Um, my local Rural King, 10 millimeter and 45 ACP is still hard to come by. Um, it's comforting to know I have about 50,000 rounds on my reloading bench.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you, Louis. 9 millimeter really came down actually everywhere. We have a Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo and local Rural King, and I could pick up 9 millimeter here any day for $10 a box.
Now, how many rounds per box? 50.
50, yeah.
Okay, those are the target rounds. What about self defense? They only come with the 20 or 25.
Yeah, the self defense rounds only come in 20. I use the Hornady critical duty or um, the SIG
Okay.
and Fetch 83. Yeah, if you want to get into reloading, I would highly recommend you start off with a single stage press. I have the RCBS Rock Chucker. You can get that for about $150. Um, you'll need a powder measure. You'll need a scale. You'll need reloading dies for every caliber. And if you're going to buy reloading dies, I highly recommend you get the Lee carbide because with the carbide dies, you don't need to lube the cases. Um, then you'll need, a measuring scale. And then you have your consumables. You need your primer and you need your powder um, and your bullets. The good thing is that the brass is reusable. Um, so the first time you go out and buy everything, it costs a lot of money.
So,
Um, and like I said, you're going to need dies for every caliber. Um, but I enjoy it. I just like the fact of knowing that I have ammo when you can't buy it in the store.
okay.
Um,
So I meant to ask you that last week, but I forgot. That question goes for you, Frank, or on the chat. So right outside here on my range, I got pretty much a whole bunch of shells everywhere. I can actually use those, clean it, wash them up, clean them up, and reuse them again.
yeah, you can. There's pretty much no limit to how long you can reload. Like the cases, um, I use my cases until they start to split.
Okay.
So um, some of the big bore like 45 ACP and 10 millimeter and 357, I've used them 10, 20 times.
Okay.
Um, 9 millimeter is just it's so cheap it's not worth it. And now they did this new bullshit thing that the government started doing is when you buy powder and primer, they now charge a $25 hazmat fee.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
yeah, so now you buy a $25 bottle of powder and there's a $25 hazmat fee. And that's something new they just started doing a year or so ago.
Now, is that nationwide or only in your state that you know of?
That's federal.
Okay.
That's a federal hazmat fee.
Okay.
Um, but when we had the drought during the pandemic, though, I mean, I was just cranking them out. The problem is that you used to be able to go into the store and buy a brick of 1,000 primers for $40. They
Yeah.
were up to almost $300 during the pandemic, and it's
Wow.
still about 120 bucks for 1,000 primers. But you do have peace of mind knowing that you always have ammo.
Yeah.
And Flick 83, if you're thinking of reloading, I highly recommend the RCBS Rock Chucker. It's a single stage press, but it makes you much more conscious and it's better for quality control. And it's got a lifetime warranty. I had a friend of mine gave me his that his dad had 30 years ago, and it's still like brand new. Well, you know what, Lou? You were
No.
able to find them
Come in.
during the pandemic, but
Come in.
not locally. Um, I wound up buying a ton of primers on Gunbroker, and I didn't have a problem finding them. It was just, I wasn't happy paying $150 for them, but um, yeah, it is what it is. I'd rather spend $150 and have 1,000 more rounds of ammo than not. Because I normally keep about 2,000 rounds per caliber just stored away for emergency, in addition to the ammo I use for shooting.
And you also said, I remember we spoke offline last week where we were actually kind of texting back and forth. You said that when it comes to concealed carry, like when you go out, you pretty much either concealed carry either a 45 or 10 millimeter.
Correct. When I carry, I normally carry a 10 millimeter or 45. Hey,
Okay.
Barbara, how are you, honey?
From New Jersey. How you doing, Barbara?
Barbara is my lovely wife.
Oh, okay. Well, how you doing, Miss Frank? Okay. Okay.
Oh, so to answer your question, Adrian, um, the reason I carry a 45, and actually I normally carry a 10 millimeter, is
Okay.
not because there's anything wrong with 9 millimeter. When we moved here, um, I started going fishing by myself because we didn't know anybody um, early in the morning. And there were a lot of times that I was fishing and there'd be a black bear in the water 10 feet away.
Holy
And
cow.
it, and it's dark out. And if I needed to, I felt a lot more confident with a 10 millimeter than I would with a 9. So,
I hear you. Here. Hey, princess.
yep.
Come in.
Welcome all to those who just joined.
Drink.
Appreciate having you guys here.
Drink.
Adrian, don't be afraid, Adrian, to put a link to your channel in the description here. Those who haven't joined our live stream before is my brother Adrian. We do some collaboration together.
Let me go ahead and open my laptop and I'll be able to get into the chat and chat that
Yeah.
way. Give me 1 minute. Let me go ahead and put my phone down.
And by the way, that Ruger American, um, I love that gun. I got to tell you, I really like it a lot. Um,
I was hoping that
Even
you.
though it's only 7 rounds, some of the um,
Are you sure she's okay with
mini compacts are only 7 rounds anyway, and if you need to, um, just carry an extra mag. But that Ruger American is probably one of the best kept secrets there is. It's built like a tank. Yeah, I agree with you there, Fletch. Yeah, during the pandemic, for some reason, it was still pretty easy to get shotgun primers, and um, I guess I had a problem. You couldn't get small pistol primers because 9 millimeter and 357 Magnum used those, and everybody was hoarding them. Um, the local gun shop, that, like I said, they used to be $40 for a box of 1,000, and the local gun shop was selling them for like you know um, $2 to $3 for 100, with a limit of like two per person. Yeah, I agree, Louis. That gray finish is really cool looking. It's nice Cerakoting. I like that they give you 3 steel magazines, not polymer, and they give you the back straps. And for the money, it's just awesome. I just put night sights on it today. I have a sight pusher because if you own a lot of guns, um, and you have to go to the gunsmith every time you want sights installed, you're going to pay 50 to $60 every time.
Yeah.
And my sight pusher has paid for itself a million times over. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to be doing a review on it this weekend because I've had it sitting on my reloading bench for a while, and people asked me about changing out their own sights when I did the review on the True Glow. So I'm going to do a review on it. It's built like a tank, and it's super easy to do.
I'm
Well,
about to.
guys, we do this for you. So whatever topics you guys want to discuss as far as it being firearms related. Last week we kind of got a little off topic here because people forced us into getting political. We try not to make it political, but we will if we have to.
Daddy,
Yes, yes, honey bun.
I'll go exercising.
Huh?
I'll do exercising.
Okay, go by Nana. Go. Okay. Huh?
Hey, Louie, how you making out with your echelon over there?
Daddy,
Go.
I want to go. I want to go.
He said he did a full spring job on his Colt 45.
Hey, Louie, why did you have gun for hire put springs in it? Why couldn't you just do that? It shouldn't be that complicated. I mean, I service all of my pistols now. I'm not a big rifle guy, even though I have some.
I will do it.
Yeah, you know, Louis, when I bought the Echelon, they didn't have the compact version, only the full size. Um, and I almost wish I would have waited and got the full size, but it is what it is. It's still a great gun. I like it. Um, they did a phenomenal job on their optic ready platform. I like the fact that uh, they just give you the pins and you move them around. It'll fit almost every possible optic footprint. So that's pretty cool.
I actually went ahead and put the a link to one of my videos on the chat, but I don't know if you see it or not. Maybe the way it's set up is probably not gonna let me do it. You're probably gonna have to do it for me, cause you're gonna have to make me a moderator in order for me to be able to put it on.
I see.
Daddy, can you?
Why are you screaming? Stop!
Daddy, can you help me?
No, Nana gonna help you. Go.
Daddy, can you help
Hey,
me?
Louis, did you ever wind up getting the Mantis Laser Academy? Um, I just got an email from Mantis, being I'm one of their biggest affiliates. They have a new product coming out soon that they'll be sending me um, that has Mantis X built into it. I think it's like one of those SART pistols that shoot a laser beam and don't require you to rack the slide. That's got Mantis X built in, but um, they have a lot of really cool products. I love their Blackbeard. The Blackbeard makes your AR-15 auto resettable trigger, um, and it's got Mantis X built in yet.
I've heard
I got
great
to tell
stuff
you,
about.
Louis, believe me, I did the research, and I actually have a video, and I compare the Mantis Laser Academy to Strike Man, and Strike Man really sucks compared to Mantis. Somebody left me a message today that they bought Strike Man and they had to pay for the app, and then every year Strike Man charges their credit card. Mantis gives you the app for free, and you even get the targets for free. You could download it from them.
I've heard some good stuff about them. I was thinking about getting one, but I haven't done it yet.
I use my Mantis Laser Academy minimum once a week. Usually, when I'm up in the room upstairs recording the videos, I use it. I have Target permanently taped on the wall there, and the nice thing about it is that the app always changes. They have new drills all the time, and now they have training modules where you can win awards. Matter of fact, I just got this pistol marksmanship award from them.
Oh, nice.
Um, and they just added now um, basic combat, intermediate, advanced combat, CCW, defensive shooting. So it's really cool. And the nice thing about it is that it stores your results so that forever, so that you can go back and they give you visual representation of where your shots are, so you can go back 6 months from now and see how you used to shoot and compare it um, to today. Um, so I like that, and if you have friends that have it, you can even compete against each other.
Now, Fletch asks, do they have issue with binary triggers? I never heard of that before. What is that? What is that binary trigger?
Fletch, I don't understand the question, but let me explain this to you. The way Mantis Laser Academy works is that you insert a laser cartridge into the chamber, and when you pull the trigger, the laser cartridge um, hits your target, and the app is what tracks the laser. So as long as your trigger is working and hit and strikes the back of the laser cartridge, it'll work. Um, has nothing to do with the trigger. With the Blackbeard is really cool though, because on an AR-15, if you have to keep racking the charging handle every time, it's a real pain in the ass. So what they do is they give you this replacement. You pull out the bolt carrier group and you insert theirs, and the magazine has got the Mantis X built in, and their replacement bolt carrier group makes your AR um, a resettable trigger, and you can pull it like 10 times a second without having to use the charging handle. So that's really cool for doing training. When you pull the trigger, it fires, or when you release the trigger, it fires. I mean, if when you release the trigger, it releases the striker or firing pin, you're just gonna, have a shot one after another. Yes, that Ruger 45 does handle 45 plus P. Um, I don't shoot 45 plus P. I think 45 ACP is enough. Um, that's just me. Yes, you would still need to run the action. Yeah, see, the problem is, and this is not a Mantis problem. Um, a lot of people complain that when they dry fire train, it's a pain in the ass because you got to keep racking the slide. Um, but that's not a Glock problem or a Mantis problem. That's the way most semi-autos work. But I tell you what, that's one nice thing about the Taurus. The Taurus G series. I have the G3C, and it's got a restrike capability. So you could just keep pulling the trigger, and it'll release the striker um, and hit the cartridge without racking the slide. So it's worth it just for that. Yeah, for the 45 Louis, I have a buddy in mine in Texas that sent me a boatload of Black Talon hollow points, and those things are nasty. And that's what I carry when I carry the 45. So I bought a holster for my new Colt Python, and I got it from Tucker Gun Leather, um, and they make awesome holsters. Not only are they handmade, they're custom made, but it's got a 4 month lead time. So I ordered it January 1st, and I'm hoping to get it May 1st. Um, but the nice thing about the Tucker gun leather holster is you get to pick the color leather, you pick the color stitching, and then what they do is they get a sheet of Boltaron and they wrap it with leather so that it doesn't get deformed. It really is well worth the money, and it's not much more money than buying a Glacko or a Bianchi. So it was only like $150, but it is handmade, and that's why they have a 4 month lag time. But uh, let me tell you, when you take that thing out of the box, there's nothing like it.
So
Yeah,
Frank,
that. What's that?
I had an important call that I was actually waiting for. So now that I'm done, I'm back.
Do I have a picture of it? Uh, you know what, Louis? I'm gonna see if it'll let me do this. I'll put the link in the chat. And I had it custom made because I bought the Colt Python Combat Elite. Um, so
Do you have a video of it, Frank, on your channel?
I'm gonna see if it's gonna let me save the image here, and I want to see if it'll allow me to add the picture in the chat. Will it let me do that? No. All
Why?
right. You know what, Louis? I'm going to put the link in the description. It doesn't allow me to put a picture in here, but I'll put the link there.
One thing that I noticed, you did a video which I watched, and I started to leave a comment, but I forgot to actually hit send, where you have two 1911s. And honestly, you actually taught me something new, Frank. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still new. I'm still learning. I did not know that a Strike of Fire 1911 even existed until I seen your video. I did not know that. I thought they were all hammer fire.
Now, if it's on a genuine 1911 platform, it would be hammer fired. But now everybody and their brother is making um, 1911 style guns, but it's
Okay.
not the original 1911 platform. I'm old school. I like the Colt platform.
Yeah.
Um, but now, and I like the original 1911. Like now, uh, Staccato makes the 2011, and it's a badass looking gun. It's really cool, but I still like the original 1911.
Okay.
Um, and in my opinion, the 1911 out of the box, that trigger is the best money can buy. Um, and even a bad 1911 has still got a better trigger than a striker fire trigger.
Okay.
But I have the Colt government competition model, and that thing is awesome.
Now on that video, am I seeing things, or are you holding a Ruger gun as well? Is that the Ruger RXM?
I don't. I have to look at the video. I don't know what one it is.
It look like you have. It looks like the Ruger RXM, but then it has a optic on it. Then you have a revolver next to it, and then you have a 1911 like right below it.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact,
I don't know. I have to check the video.
right here.
Oh. Yeah, that's the Ruger RXM.
Okay, I thought so because I got it. I thought so. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I know the staccato is 9 millimeter only, Louis, and that's why I don't have it. Like I told you, Louis, last time we talked, I won't buy any more 9 millimeters. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but I have 18 of them. I don't need any more 9 millimeter pistols.
I have
Um,
I have quite a few too.
I'll buy more 45s, which is why I bought the Ruger American. I'll buy more 10s and I'll buy more revolvers, but I will not buy any more 9 millimeters. Like we were talking, though, it's a shame that all the cool guns coming out now are only in 9 millimeter. Nobody's coming out with anything new in 45 ACP or 10 millimeter, but and I get it. They got to market to the masses.
With the game.
Okay, go.
I'll play with the game.
No. Hey,
I'll play
excuse
with the
me.
game.
Go by Nana and get over there, or you're gonna get in trouble.
No.
Then stop.
No. Can you take me?
Yeah, I've seen those, Louis. I just was looking at them out of curiosity, and I think Grab a Gun had the staccato for it was like $2,500, and that's a lot of money for a 9 millimeter. Um, but it's a really cool gun, though.
There's one more 9 millimeter gun that I'm actually right now. Just about every gun shop do not have it. I think I gotta wait another week for them to have it in stock. There's one more. I'll tell you later offline, but it's one more, and it actually already comes with a compensator in it. But that's one where the controls are. You probably gonna know them. Might tell you a little bits and pieces, but it is one of those guns where you know how some of the guns have like a little bit of wiggle on it.
Yeah.
That is all like, I mean, there's no play whatsoever, and you actually have to physically have to go ahead and break it in. I think between 250 to 400 rounds before it can actually run smoothly. Yeah,
You know, so and getting back to the 1911, like I'm old school. To me, a 1911 should only be 45 ACP. Um,
right.
I
I
don't
got
like that they have. I don't like that they have 1911s and 38 Super and 9 millimeter, and they even make 22 caliber 1911s. I mean, it should just be original and be in 45 ACP. But I get it. Why should the 9 millimeter guys be deprived out of a great gun? So
yeah, and I see you have a beautiful. You have a real nice red dot on that Ruger RXM. Pretty good.
that
Pretty
is the Zalissi Oak. They
okay.
sent me that to review, and that is a really nice dot.
Now,
Um,
now,
Fortunately, when I bought the Springfield Echelon, that accommodates like 45 different optics because they have a pin set, and you just move the pins depending on
yeah,
what optic it is. The RXM has a RMSC cut, so it kind of reduces the uh, sights you can buy. Like I like the Siley Shark Plus. I run that on my Springfield Echelon, but that's only a Delta Point Pro footprint.
yeah,
Um, so for the RMSC, there's just a few less sights you can buy. I would rather have a universal um, optic set like they use on the Echelon, but it costs money to do that.
yeah, yeah. That Colt 1911 that you have, that's about a few grand for that one, isn't it? About a good $1,500 for that one. The Colt.
What, the revolver?
No, no, no. The handgun. Your 1911. The Colt.
Yeah, I was really lucky. Um, I was looking at it for a while, and it was like $1,500, and then I saw Christmas time. Grab a Gun had it for like 19.99,
Oh wow.
and I'm sorry, they had it for 9.99 Christmas Eve, and I jumped on that thing, and the next day I went there and it was back up to $1,500. So, yeah, I paid 9.99 for that.
Good. You lucked out. That was good. That was good.
And the cult is always going to get their money. Like the Colt Python Elite revolver I got, that's about $1,500. They very rarely go on sale, but it's worth every penny of it. I mean that trigger's like butter. That is the best trigger I've ever seen on a revolver. Um, and they've made some nice enhancements to it. If you look at the cylinder, it's not fluted; it's solid, so it makes it a little bit um, heavier. And they put G10 grips on it and a fiber optic front sight, so it's really cool.
Hold on,
Yeah,
one second,
I
brother.
was looking at the Hollow Sun, Louis, and I got to be honest with you. After doing a review between the Siley optics and the Zulisi optics and the Hollow Sun, yeah, Hollow Sun has a name. They've been around longer and they charge a lot more money for it. But I got to tell you, I'd put that Zulisi optic next to that Hollow Sun any day, and it's only about $150.
I need you to stop. Come here, shut up.
And I would have never heard about it if they didn't contact me to review it.
Look at me. Look at me. Stop. No, we're just trying to help you, okay? Did you, Papa? Stop, okay? Relax.
Need a bigger gun safe, Louis.
Thank you, baby. See how now I got your cartoon? Just relax,
I
okay?
don't have many long guns, and the problem I have is on my gun safe. If I had on the left side where it holds the long guns, the capability of putting shelves there, um, it would hold more handguns. But yeah, I'm not really sold on the solar panel. I mean, the solar panel's nice if you're out all day long, but for people that are going to keep it in their gun safe, um, I don't really see the benefit of that. And to be honest with you, uh, you get 50,000 hours of battery life on the Zulisi. Uh, 50,000 hours of battery life. I'll change the battery every 2 years. I just think the Hollow Sun is overpriced. I have one on my Hellcat Pro. Um, I have them on a couple of my other guns, and I just think for the money, the quality of the Zulisi is as good, is at least as good as the Hollow Sun, and it's only $150.
Yeah,
You don't always get what you pay for.
the Holostons are pretty expensive. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I get it. They have the reputation. They've been around. Everybody and their brother goes to the gun store. Um, is there an adjustment to? Yeah, yeah. To answer your question, Lou, yes. I I had a Swamp Fox Auto brightness, and for people that are new to dots, I would never recommend the auto brightness for one reason. It it memorizes that setting. Number one, so if you were last in a dark room or a dim room, and it was bright, and then you went outside, you have to change the brightness on it. But the biggest problem um, that I have with the red dots that are auto are that they don't work in no light. You, in order for the sensor to make the optic work, it needs some kind of ambient lighting for it to detect it. And if you're in a pitch black room, a auto illuminated red dot does not work. So that's why I like the manual adjustment. And the manual adjustment is also the problem with that is it it memorizes the last setting, right? So if you're outside and you dim it down and you go into a dark room, you have to manually adjust it up. It doesn't know. That's why it's called manual. Um, no, you cannot. Typically, if you have a auto or manual um, optic, it's one or the other. Um, if you have a manual optic, it doesn't become auto. However, what it does do is it's got a shake awake feature. So if you don't have any activity on your gun in, I think, 4 minutes, it shuts off, and all you have to do is go like this, and it turns back on. But you can't have it go from manual to auto. And
okay.
I don't care. I'm perfectly fine with the manual brightness because, like I said, as soon as you pick it up from the nightstand, the optic turns on all by itself. So,
Charger.
well, I don't know. I honestly, I really don't see any benefit of having an auto and manual. I mean, if it has the shake awake feature, there's no reason to turn it on and off. It does it all by itself, and it does that to conserve battery. Um, but 50,000 hours of battery life's a lot.
Oh yeah. Now there is one red dot that I have on my Glock 43X MOS. I got that shield RMSC, and
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I don't like about that red dot. You cannot shut it off. It stays on
yeah,
the whole time.
yeah. Well, that sucks. I had a Swamp Fox Sentinel, um, and Swamp Fox makes a really good optic. I'll be honest with you, it's really good for the price. The only complaint I have about it, and that's why I don't use it anymore, I don't like that the battery is underneath, right?
Yeah,
So in order to change the battery, you got to take the optic off, which is retarded.
yeah.
Um, and I originally ordered it in auto, and I didn't like it, and I switched it out for manual. But I still don't like that the battery is underneath. It's just stupid that you have to take your optic off, and then you got to zero it in again because um, when you put it back on, uh, it may uh, not be seated exactly the way it was the last time. Well, uh, let me tell you something, Louis. My Hollow Sun, my Zalissi, and my Siley optics all have a tray on the side, and if it's just stupid, if you have to remove your optic to change the battery, that's just stupid. Um, Sometimes people lose the tool and they can't remove the optic. I just don't see any benefit. I would never buy an optic that's the option. Yeah, that Echelon has an awesome pin setup, Louis. Um, I like the fact that when I was evaluating um, three different optics with three different footprints. Um, I did not have guns with those three different footprints, so I was able to do all of that with the Echelon. I was able to do RMSC, I was able to do RMR, and I was able to do Delta Point Pro just by moving the pin configuration, which is awesome.
That's one thing that I love about that Ruger RXM. It come with a pin setup. I would have hit. I put that solid optic on there, no problem.
Yeah, but the RXM only works with RMSC. It doesn't work with Delta Point Pro. I mean, when
Oh,
you look at the Echelon gives you like a dozen different pin sets, and there's like six holes on each side drilled, and depending on the optic, you just move them around, and it'll accommodate, I think, up to 40 different optic footprints.
okay.
But it's also not $399.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
be
know,
more.
I,
It's more expensive than
I I'm
that.
telling you, I'm still thinking for the money that RMX has got to be the best pistol you can buy. Um, I've been I've been looking on some of the gun forums, and some people are showing pictures of their barrels fragmenting on the end after 500 rounds, but Ruger replaced it. I haven't had that issue, but maybe when it first came out and people bought it, they may have had a bad batch of barrels, but I don't see any fragmenting at the end of my barrel. Even though Ruger will replace it for free. Um, Holosun PADHC. Louis, we talked about this before. Honestly, I don't see the logic or the fascination of having a light mounted on a weapon. Every damn time I go to a gun forum, these people have a fucking light that's this big mounted on the end of their gun. And I think it's just stupid because that light is now a extension of your firearm. And you're walking around in a parking lot and you hear a noise and you got to turn the light on your gun, and now you're pointing your gun at people. I I don't see the fascination. I
Yeah.
just carry a tactical flashlight. I don't see any redeeming value of having light attached to the end of the barrel of a gun. I'm just not seeing it.
Hello. I'm right here, brother Frank. Give me 1 minute.
All right.
Hello.
And we have new people join. I wish people that join would at least say hello so we know who they are. Unfortunately, the
Okay.
YouTube live
Hello.
stream only shows us how many people are on the stream. It doesn't show who they are. So um,
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to give a shout out to people.
I'm sorry that I'm everywhere from, but I got my 3-year-old with me, and she's daddy, 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 daddy all the way.
No
So
problem, brother.
if you see me get up and have to go do something, it's because of her. The last time
Do what you got to do, man.
I didn't have nobody with me.
That's all right, man. Go do what you got to do. It's always good to have you. We'll be doing this again.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. See, we got 6 thumbs up today, 6 likes.
Yep.
And I know that we have less people today than the last time.
Yeah, we have a lot less people than we had last time, and um, it's kind of touch and go. You never know. Maybe the timing is wrong, or you know, the weather's getting better, and
Yeah.
people just like to be outside. But I I like doing these because I like to be connected with my subscribers and um, have more of a relationship with them. All right, Louis, it's always great having you here too, brother. I'll give you a call during the week and we'll talk and have fun at your Italian club dinner.
All right, Lou. You have a good one.
Brother Louis and I go way back. He still lives in New Jersey. I escaped,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we went to the same high school and everything and known each other for a long, long time. Both ride motorcycles. A great guy.
Now, I gotta ask you that Ruger American Compact 45 ACP. How do you like that thing?
I love it. It's got a lot of weight to it. Um, I did a comparison video. I didn't release it yet. And I compared it to the Glock 30. I love the Glock 30, but um, the Glock 30 is a little small when you're holding it. It's like it kind of gets lost in your hands. Um, that Ruger American is just the perfect size. It's small enough to be concealable, but it's big enough to get a nice grip on it. And it was a bonus. It actually fits in my Glock holster, and it fits in. I have a Sig P320 uh, 45, and it fits that holster too.
Okay. It does. If I'm looking at it correctly, I was just about to ask you. I'm looking at it now. You can actually change the back strap.
You can't what?
I said on that gun, the Ruger American Compact 45, you can actually change the back strap from a bigger one to a smaller one.
Yeah, you can actually. I did change it. They give you a medium and a large.
Okay. And it
It's in
comes
my
with three.
video. If you watch the
Yeah,
video,
yeah.
they give you a
I'm
medium.
I'm looking at it now. That's why I was asking you.
It's a bit of a it's a bit of a pain to change. It's a bit of a pain to change the back strap. They give you an Allen key, and you have to turn the thing a certain way and slide it off. But you only do them once. I mean, I put the large one on, and it works fine. But yeah, they do give you two back straps, medium and large.
And I see it come with 3 mag. It got a nice Picatinny rail on it.
Yep, comes with three steel mags, and the nice thing I like about it is that it also comes with three extended base plates, so you
Okay.
don't get that floating pinky thing on the bottom.
Yeah.
Um, and they give you the flush mounted ones as well. I like the extended one, even though it may print a little bit more because it's longer and it's got an angle on it, but it makes it more comfortable to hold. I was hoping we were going to break 100 today, brother, but it doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere near that. But that's all right. We appreciate everybody that joins. Um, may, maybe we don't have as many because we don't have any of the wise asses on today.
Probably that's what it is.
Yeah, we had a lot of wise asses the past couple of weeks. I was looking at the Ruger Mini 14 just came out with a revised version of that with a polymer stock, and it's only like $450. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
The original Ruger Mini 14 is built like a tank and lasts forever.
Now, this Ruger American, is that a polymer firearm or is it all stainless steel?
It's a polymer frame.
Okay.
That's the only thing I don't like about the polymer frame guns is I like on the 1911 that you could replace the grips. You don't really have many options with a polymer frame other than um, buy a different grip module if they make them, or use the Hogue grip sleeve.
Okay.
Um, at least you know the Ruger is modular. The just like the Sig, you take out the fire control group, and I see now they make. There's a lot of aftermarket frames now for the RXM in all different kind of colors. Um, And I'm betting you it won't be long before somebody makes one out of steel, where you could change the grips on it and everything.
Yep. I'm sure somebody gonna come out with it.
They did for the Sig. On my Sig P320, um, I bought the Wilson Combat Grip, and let me tell you, uh, I think for $50, whatever it was, the most comfortable grip. It makes that gun feel like it was custom made. Um, and if you've ever looked at Wilson Combat, there's probably nothing else you can buy on that website for $50. They're really expensive, but I use Wilson Combat magazines in my 1911. They make great magazines.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how many Glocks do you own? You own more than three?
Oh, I probably have at least a dozen.
Okay.
The problem with the Glock is that it's almost like they get bored and they come out with a new model, and now they have the crossovers, and it's like their numbering scheme makes no sense, right? You buy a Glock 17 that holds 17 rounds, and then you buy a Glock 19. You would think it would hold 19 rounds, but it holds 15. Their numbering scheme has got nothing to do with anything. And then they have, if you go to their website now, they got like 15 different versions of 9 millimeter. I mean,
Yeah, that is true.
but aftermarket parts and accessories. There's millions of them for the Glock. I like the fact that almost every Glock holster uh, works with any model Glock, within the same caliber. So it's got that going for it. But yeah, I think they just come out with new guns just to make more money.
And and kind of piggyback on what you just said. A little piggyback is it almost seems like when they do come with a new one, they kind of just tweak it up just a tiny little bit, but it's still the same look, same thing, same old boring. Polymer iron sights, same old little square, the little notch. It never changed.
I'll tell you though, the one thing they did do though that was revolutionary for Glock, and they really took a chance on it. I love my 19X. Um, the 19X is the only Glock that is not black. It's only available in Coyote. I love the fact that
Yeah.
it gives you the best of both worlds because it's a hybrid. It gives you the grip of the Glock 17 with the compact slide of the Glock 19, and it comes with 19 round magazines, and it comes with night sights. Um, that was a well worth production item. I mean, to come out with something like that, because, Glock hasn't changed their guns in 30 years. So for them to take a chance and come out with a gun that's only available in Coyote, uh, to have night sights on it instead of shitty plastic Glock sights, uh, having, the full size frame with the compact slide. Um, I like that, but they didn't do that um, for us. When Glock came out with the 19X, they competed against Sig Sauer's P320 for the military contract, and they lost. Sig Sauer came in cheaper than Glock, so the military switched from the Beretta to the Sig P320. And Glock decided, well, being we lost, we may as well make this available to the civilians. So they didn't actually design it for us originally. Hey, Caleb, welcome back. I'm glad you liked and subscribed. We appreciate that. We love you guys, and we wouldn't be able to review the firearms and accessories we do if it wasn't for support from you guys. Every time our videos are being watched, we get monetized, generates us a little bit of income to help offset the costs because, guns and accessories are expensive. We can't do this out of our own pocket or entirely out of our own pocket.
Yeah. As far as for me, anytime I upload a video, I gotta buy my stuff out of my pocket. So I'm
Where are
not
you
there yet,
from
but
there,
I'm getting
Caleb?
there.
I thought he was on last week. I thought he was from New Jersey, but that may have been someone else.
Who, Caleb?
Yeah, I thought I saw him last week. Maybe it was somebody else that was from New Jersey, but I like to see former Jersey people like my boy Louie.
I don't know that one.
Stupid Alexa goes off every now and then. I don't know why.
Now that PSA dagger, you like it?
Yep, I like it for what it is. Um, and only time will tell whether the dagger is going to hold up. But the PSA dagger is a true Glock clone. Like the Ruger RMX is not really a Glock clone, and they don't advertise it to be. It's just built on the Gen 3 technology. That PSA dagger, it's 100% Glock clone. The slide, the barrel, everything is interchangeable with the Gen 3 Glock.
Yeah.
It looks like a Glock, feels like a Glock, shoots like a Glock, and I've seen them on sale for, you know, $250, and they give you like 10 mags with them. I just don't know if it's going to hold up long term. You know, um, it doesn't feel cheesy, but Glock's been around 30 years. I know I'll shoot 50 or 100,000 rounds out of my Glock. In the worst case scenarios, I'll have to replace the spring. I
Yeah.
don't know how the PSA is going to hold up um, over time,
Now the
but
PSA dagger is it kind of like based on a Glock as well, like a Glock 43?
it's built on the Glock 19 Gen
Okay.
3 technology.
Okay.
However, the nice thing about the PSA, they are made in South Carolina from Palmetto State Armory. But the nice thing about the dagger is that you can buy a complete dagger, or you can buy parts and mix and match it. So, um, if you own a Glock and you like the dagger slide, you can do that. It's interchangeable. Unlike the Glock, you can buy different grip modules for the dagger, and they will uh, interchange with a Glock Gen 3. So if you have a Glock Gen 3 and you like a dagger barrel and slide and grip, you could mix and match and change all of that stuff. Um, and also with the dagger, you can do the same thing. You can buy a full size grip module and a compact slide. So it's pretty cool. Um, I just don't understand, what their point is. I mean, these people making Glock clones based on Gen 3 is only because the trademark expired.
Yeah.
Um, you know, everybody now is buying the Gen 5s. Unless you live in California, you can't own a Gen 5. They don't make the Gen 4 anymore. Um, the Glock 19X is really like a 4.5. It's really not a Gen 4. It's really not a Gen 5. Um, but I like it. I think out of all of my Glocks, excluding my 10 millimeter Glock 20, I think out of all of my Glocks, that 19X is my favorite.
I do have the 19X MOS. Like you said, the Coyote color, the FDE color. And like you said, they actually said that that's the only Glock that's made, like you said, in that configuration, that color. And it does come with a high suppressor iron sights.
Yep.
And they actually still, they're not the cheap polymer BS. I wish that YouTube will actually allow us to show the guns live you know, on the show.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got flagged for it once, so I,
Yeah,
I make sure I'm not even in the same room. I make sure I don't even have a gun in the room when I do the live stream because they
yeah.
almost uh, killed my channel. I when I bought my 19X, Adrian, they didn't have the MOS version yet of the 19X.
Okay.
And I almost regret it, but then, when I bought my Glock 19 Gen 5, I, I did not buy the MOS version. I just don't like feeling that it was like extortion. They charge $100 more to get an MOS version,
Yeah.
where you get the Springfield Echelon and you get even the $399 Ruger RXM is optic ready, and they don't charge you extra for it. And
Correct.
I'm really disappointed in Glock that they're charging their loyal uh, owners money for an optic ready gun. I mean, in my opinion, any gun that's a defensive gun should be optic ready. They shouldn't charge you for it. I lost your audio, Adrian.
Sir?
Yeah, I lost your audio. I didn't hear what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah. For a second, that was my 3-year-old that came in screaming to show me something, so I put myself on mute. That way you don't hear all of the commotion. She came in here screaming. So I put the phone on mute at the right time because she wanted to tell me something.
I mean, what really pisses me off about that is if you can get Ruger for $399, giving you an optic ready gun, there's no reason Glock can't do that. Um, I just don't. I don't like feeling that I'm being extorted. Like I said, any gun that's being sold as a defensive gun should just be optic ready right out of the box. They shouldn't charge
And
you
you,
any money.
and you literally took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. That Ruger RXM actually got Glock beat by a long shot. Number one, it comes with a drop pin
Yeah,
set for you to put different, footprints on it. Another thing, it
welcome
actually
there,
comes
Honcho.
correct, optic ready. I mean, cheaper. What else? And I can also change the grip on it because you can actually take the whole firing insert, put it somewhere else in another frame. Glock,
Yeah,
Glock had already
they
been
got
done
that
with Glock FD.
technology. Yeah, they took that technology from Sig Sauer. Sig started doing that with
But
the
they made it
control
work.
module.
They made it work with
And
MacPool. That's a nice collaboration with MacPool. They did good.
yeah, oh, let me tell you that couldn't have gone any better. I mean, Magpul makes awesome grips. I have Magpul on all my AR-15s. Um, And welcome there, Brian Martin. Thank you so much for
Hey, Brian.
liking us, and please subscribe. Would appreciate that.
How you doing,
Um,
Honcho?
and the Cerakote finish is nice on that Ruger RXM. I like the flared magwell. I like that it comes with steel magazine. Uh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not a fan of those P mags. Um, I don't have any trouble with them, but I like the fact that on my Glock mags, it's got the holes in the back so you can see how many rounds are in there.
Yeah.
Um, and I honestly, on my Ruger RXM, I use genuine Glock 19 mags. I'm not sure I would trust my life to a P mag. I mean, there's a reason you can go buy those P mags for $12 in the store.
Yeah, plus those pig mat do not come with the metal insert like your Glock magazines.
No,
They
there
re-
is no insert, and I like on the Glock when you turn it around, you could see how many rounds are in there by looking
yes,
at the holes.
correct. Yeah.
Um,
Now it does have a little window that show you when you have 15 rounds only, but I like how Glock have it numbered. You know what I mean? I like that.
I like that as well. And my concern with the PMag is that, um, over time, the lip is going to crack because there's no steel lip on it. But in all fairness, I mean, I've used Magpols for a long time. I have not had any issues with them not working well, except for my Keltec Sub 2000. But I'm not so sure that was even the PMags. The Keltec Sub 2000 has got a polymer feed ramp,
Yeah.
so that may have more to do with it than the mags. So we have Honcho and Brian that just joined us. Uh, Anything you guys want to discuss that's firearms related? We do this for you guys. We answer questions. We discuss our experiences and uh, talk about uh, products we've reviewed so that you guys don't waste your money on them.
Well, since nobody really say nothing yet, I did make a video with my Glock 44 doing some build drills, like I did with my Taurus the other day, and I'm actually enjoying doing that, Frank. I'm actually getting, myself, what you call it, a little more focused on that trigger pull, you know, timing myself, you know what I mean, aiming, all that good stuff. I normally start a little rusty, but after 2 or 3 minutes, I see myself, bringing that time from 3 seconds all the way to about a minute. Putting shots on target. So I'm actually enjoying. That's why I went ahead and build that dwelling tree out there for me to go ahead and do that.
Cool. Yeah, Brian, that 19X, I got to tell you, is probably the best Glock they've ever come out with. Um, and I have I have the Glock 44 as well, Adrian. Um, it's not my best shooting 22 caliber, but
Yeah.
it's definitely my most accurate. Um, and that thing just eats. I've tried all kind of crap 22 ammo, and it eats everything. Um, when I
Well,
teach my firearms classes, um, people that have never shot before, um, that's what I make them shoot, just to
oh,
learn.
for me, Frank, and I'm glad that you said you have not had any issues with your Glock 44. I have. When I did my video, when I did my first shots on impression, I was using some Remington Thunderbolt, bulk ammo, which has the lead bullets,
Yeah,
and for the most part it shot okay, but I did have at least 10 failures.
it's funny because I've read reviews on it, and a lot of people had problems with the Thunderbolt, but I used Federal, I used CCI, I used Thunderbolt, and I haven't had any issues. And to answer Brian, um, I love the Smith and Wesson revolvers. I recently, I guess 6 months ago maybe, um, I bought the Smith and Wesson 686. It's a gorgeous gun. I like it a lot. I like that it holds 7 rounds. But I got to tell you, uh, as much as I like the Smith and Wesson revolvers, I always wanted a Colt Python, and I bought the Colt Python Combat Elite a couple months ago. And man, I got to tell you, when you see the $1,500 price tag on the Colt Python, when you pull that trigger, you know where the money went. That is like butter. And let me tell you, there's nothing like the trigger on a Python. I got the 3-inch 686 as well. Um, I don't have any safe queens. Every gun I have, I carry at some point or another. So all my revolvers are 3-inch. So my 686 is 3-inch. I just bought that Colt Python Elite. That's also got a 3-inch barrel because I do carry revolvers from time to time. Um, to me, if it's not a gun that I would carry, I don't see any point in owning it. I don't have any guns that just sit in the safe to look pretty. I even, believe it or not, shoot my $1,500 Colt 1911, and I do carry it. Um, my guns are like tools. I carry them. I don't care that they're expensive if they get worn or scratches on them. I mean, I bought them to use. So,
Yeah, that's one thing that I did with my Glock 19X. The rear iron sight was actually shooting to the left, so I needed to adjust it. So I got that tool, and I forgot to put some kind of clothing or fiber on it so it does not scratch. I let that metal to metal contact, and I nicked it on both sides. Not like scratch, but the paint I scratched it. So now I gotta figure out how to, you know, paint over that and make it look good. But I messed it up a little bit, and now I'm pissed. But I'll be
yeah,
all right.
normally when I push sights, I put painter's tape on it. Um, but I've seen at Rural King they have
But that
like
was
these,
my mistake. That was my stupid mistake. I know better than that, Frank. But I still went ahead and did it anyway.
and the creator. You know, to me, I think every guns are meant to beat the shit out of. I don't believe in having uh, a safe queen. I mean, every gun that I beat the piss out of functions better than any gun that just sits in a safe. Um, like I said, my $1,500 cult government competition gets used a lot. I could care less about scratches. I bought these guns for my enjoyment. I didn't buy them so that with the intention of when I die, people are going to sell them and make money on it. Uh, and if it's not a gun worth carrying, I don't own it. I wouldn't buy a gun um, that I don't carry. Uh, on occasion, I do buy some cheaper guns only to review because uh, everybody doesn't have the budget to buy an expensive gun, but I would never carry those. Um,
Right
I
now,
mean, and
Frank.
that's what carry guns are made for, right? I mean, if you're going to carry them, you beat the crap out of them. Some people complain that, the Kydex holsters scratches the finish, and you know what? Even a leather holster is going to wear the finish off of a
Yep.
slide over a period of time. I could care less about that. But um, for what you were saying, Adrian, I've seen in Rural King, and I've seen them online. They make these markers that have the bluing dye in them that you can
Okay.
use to touch up slides. But I don't care. It's like scars, right? It shows character.
That's why at the beginning I was a little pissed, but then I was like, I mean, if I dropped it, it's gonna get messed up anyway, so I ain't even worrying about it no more.
Yes, and the precision rifles. Um, well, to be honest with you, I'm really not a rifle guy. Um, I primarily have and shoot pistols. I do have a few rifles. Um, I have a 308 that 308 Remington, and I got to tell you that thing is awesome. But I'm not really a big rifle guy, and I don't shoot them that often to know that beating the crap out of it'll uh, mess up the zero. But people that go buy a gun, you know, should use it. I got to tell you, when when you go to the gun range and you see these people that have guns that are brand new, you could tell they don't shoot. And if you carry a gun every day, you know, whether you fire it or not, just from holstering it, you're going to get scratches. When I see these people walking around with a brand new gun, they never fired it or went to the range. You go to the range, you're going to knock it off a table and drop it, and you know, just from cleaning it with solvents and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't worry about the finish too
Now,
much.
now
Matter of
I'm
fact, I dropped my RXM a week ago, and I got a little scratch on the side. I don't care.
now there is one gun that is actually my most expensive gun, Frank, is my Springfield Armory 1911 45 caliber. That thing is like my baby. The holster that I have is a leather holster. The inside of the holster is soft, so that would never get scratched. But that gun. Since I own it, put I got less than 35 rounds through it, and I've had it now for about 6 years.
Yeah,
That one I do not mess with. That one is like brand new still.
there's people that do that. I mean, I did a review. One of my videos, I did a review on the John Wayne cowboy gun, and my buddy lent it to me to review. And you know, the plastic ring was still inside the cylinder, and that gun is worth a fortune. And I get it that it was never fired. Um, he bought it as a collector, and I get it. But for me personally, I I only collect guns, but not as a collector. It's a collection because I accumulate them. But every gun I have at some point or another gets carried, whether it's a revolver or whatever, uh, whether it's a reasonably priced gun or an expensive gun. I carry them depending on the activity and where I'm going. Um, I normally carry outside the waistband, which makes it a lot easier because I don't have to worry about how big and bulky the gun is.
Hold on, brother Frank. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time, man. Come on, guys. We know you guys are out there. You have any topics? Bring them up. We do this. We do this for you. Yeah, yep, Brian. I am a hoarder. Um, I have to say that I was just looking in my gun safe today, saying I need a bigger safe. Um, all right, you want to hear my opinion on the Ruger RSR 9 millimeter? Okay. Um, I'm a big fan of Ruger products. I've shot that a few times. I don't own one anymore, um, but it's a good shooting gun. It's got a little bit of muzzle flip to it, but like all the Rugers, it's very dependable and very well made. Yeah, 5 grand's a lot of money for that Ithaca, but that Ithaca's been around a long time. Um, and I get it that some people like buying commemorative guns. That's just not me. I mean, I buy a gun because I like it and I want it. And um, normally when I buy a new gun, after I take it to the range, I wind up carrying it, and then I'll go into the safe 2 days later, take a different gun. Sometimes I'll carry 2 or 3 different guns in a day, depending on what I'm doing that day. I have a different gun that I use that I carry for work. I have different guns that I use when I'm going fishing. Um, but I just like them. People ask me all the time, do you have more ink or guns? And that's a hard decision. I haven't counted either, so it's tough. Real Torah, is that a gun you're thinking of buying? What would I say the most used and most often carried firearm caliber? Um, that's pretty easy. The most used and most often carried firearm caliber is definitely 9 millimeter. They sell them to the masses. There's very low recoil. They have high capacity magazines. Um, 9 millimeter has improved tremendously over the past 10 years. Um, and now at 147 grain, their 9 millimeter penetrates almost as much as the 40 caliber. Um, it's not an accident that most of the law enforcement agencies are carrying 9 millimeters, and probably the most commonly carried one by civilians would be the Glock 19. Um, Real Tor, I'm just curious, how long ago did you buy that Ruger SR9? I haven't seen one in a while. Um, yeah, I agree. The 9 millimeter is a decent, capable round, general purpose. That is why all the gun manufacturers are only coming out with new guns in 9 millimeter instead of 45 and 10 millimeter. And I get it. 9 millimeter is also easy to shoot. Um, 22 long rifle is fine for plinking. Um, I wouldn't use it as a defensive gun, even though there is no point in a caliber debate. It is all about shot placement. I mean, if you can't shoot for shit, doesn't matter what caliber you're using. But um, the 9 millimeter um, is a very good round. Not my favorite, but it is a good round. 2010. Let me tell you, I would hang on to that SR9. It's a great gun. I've always been a fan of Ruger, and I just bought two Rugers in the past month, and I like that they're made in the USA with a lifetime warranty, and they're built like a tank. Um, I'm thinking my next revolver is going to be the Ruger SP 101 revolver. I've always wanted one of them, and just bought the Smith and Wesson 686 and the Colt Python. So I have to wait until I have more viewers and subscribers. So people out there, subscribe to the channel, watch all of my videos to help me generate some revenue so I can buy more guns. It's a hopeless addiction of mine. No, and I did not think you were going to start a caliber war there, Fletch. No, no, no worries. Um, thank you, Brian. Um, yeah, recreationally, I mean, just for plinking, yeah, 22 is fine. Um, Defensive training, I would definitely go with at least a 9 millimeter. Um, I'm not so sure I would use a 9 millimeter for hunting. I live in Tennessee. We're allowed to use pistols for hunting as long as it's 38 caliber or higher. But if I was using a pistol for hunting, it would be a 10 millimeter. But a 22 will work for pest removal. It would be great for uh, rodents or squirrels or groundhogs, things like that. And the ammo's cheap. Matter of fact, I bought a Smith and Wesson 22. Hey, Fletch. Yep. Good to have another neighbor here. Um, I'm outside in Knoxville. We're not that far away. Yeah, see, that's the problem with the tourists. Um, Taurus is hit or miss. Um, I bought the G3. Um, I don't like the G4 series, but the quality of Taurus, you either get a good one or a bad one, and you hope you never have to use their customer service because it really sucks. Um, and a lifetime warranty doesn't really mean anything if you have to spend your whole lifetime sending it back and forth. But in all fairness, um, my G3C has been flawless. Um, they have a bad rap. They did turn out a lot of crap in Brazil in the 80s, and they're still turning out a lot of crap. Um, but if you happen to be lucky enough to get a good one, for the money, it's not bad. Again, it's all about shot placement. I mean, you shoot him in the right place, a 22 will kill him just as good as a 9 millimeter. However, the large calibers like the 45 and the 10 millimeter, bigger hole is a bigger wound. 22 may not necessarily kill them depending on where you hit them. It may just go in and out. Um, you get hit with a 45, you're going to bleed out. That's for sure. But it's all personal preference. What's right for me isn't right for you. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the 10 millimeter, but I wouldn't recommend people to go buy a 10 millimeter. You know, I don't see the I don't see the fascination of the 380. My wife has the Smith and Wesson Shield 9 millimeter. She bought the 380 first, and as she got better, she bought the 9 millimeter. The gun itself is not much different in size. So I just don't understand the attraction of the 380. The ammo's more expensive, and the 380 is not the same as a 9 millimeter. It's shortened. You'll do more damage with a 9 millimeter. Um, I mean, the 380 I would consider the minimum caliber to use for self defense, but I just don't see the fascination of a 380. The gun isn't, I mean, yeah, you can get these little tiny Rugers that are about this big in 380, but then it's got a short barrel and it's not accurate. Um, for me, defensively, I wouldn't go anything less than a 9, but that sucks having your gun tied up for 3 months. Um, I must have been lucky. I got to tell you, I've owned a few Tauruses, and their Taurus revolvers are great. Um, I've never had an issue with my Taurus revolvers at all. Um, my Taurus Tracker 357 is one of my favorite revolvers. It's just their semi-autos are touch and go. Uh, I like the steel guns, but I don't know, Tor. I don't. I mean, I don't know if you carry every day. I carry 7 days a week, 365, and I got to tell you, those steel guns start getting heavy, and I'm old. At the end of the week, if I carry a 1911 for a week, um, at the end of the week, um, my hip starts getting sore. Um, so I like the polymer frame. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to come out with a comment like that for revolvers are king. Um, I love my revolvers, and I like 357. Um, but I carry my 357. Um, 44 is great for hunting, but I wouldn't carry it only because they're definitely going to have a over penetration issue with that. But it's funny, revolvers are king. It's funny about your statement because I don't do it anymore, but I used to kid people and say, yeah, the women like 9 millimeter. Um, but I, I just don't do it anymore. And like I said, I carry either a 45 or a 10 if I'm carrying a semi-auto. Not that a 9 millimeter isn't capable. When I started to shoot, my dad taught me to shoot a 45 long Colt and a 357 Magnum 40 years ago. So that's why I just like the bigger calibers. Yeah, the Smith and Wesson Governor. I used to have a Taurus Judge, and it was a lot of fun to shoot. But those 410 shells are real expensive, and 45 long Colt is expensive. So I got rid of the gun. I don't like having a gun I can't afford to shoot. I had a Charter Arms Bulldog 44 Special, and I got rid of that too for the same reason. Um, it was just too expensive. And it's 5:22 here. Unless this stream starts picking up, probably going to close this down at around 5:30. So if there's any comments you guys want to make, um, yeah, the governor can shoot the 45 ACP with moon clips, but um, moon clips are just a pain in the ass. And I'm not a fan of shooting semi-automatic cartridges out of a revolver. Anyway, um, you know, Ruger makes a 10 millimeter revolver. I think Smith does too. Moon clips take too long, and they're just a pain in the ass.
I want to go to the park.
Come on.
Please.
Hey, come here, baby. Stop. Wait. Stop. Wait. Get up there and just wait on daddy.
Yeah, I was just saying, Adrian, if it doesn't start picking up here, we'll probably close this down at around 5:30.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't get the turnout that we had last week, but that's okay. We still appreciate everyone.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, since I have my 3-year-old daughter with me, I'm a little busy tied up with her as well.
Yeah, and revolvers are king. I agree with you. I live in Tennessee, so I open carry most of the time, and uh, I like carrying my new Colt Python 3-inch barrel. I also have Smith and Wesson 686 3-inch barrel. So any revolver I get is always going to be 3-inch. I just find the 3-inch barrel on the revolver seems to be a good sweet spot. It gives you a little bit more sight radius, but it still conceals well.
Down. Hey, brother Frank.
Yeah,
I got a buddy that lives in Tennessee, and he told me that in Tennessee he's not allowed to open carry. But you said that you can open carry in Tennessee, right?
you can open carry in Tennessee. Um, Anybody can carry in Tennessee, open or concealed, and they do not need a permit. So if you came to visit me, you can carry your gun here as long as you're over 21 years old and you're not a felon. Anybody that enters the state of Tennessee can
Wait,
open or concealed without
wait.
a permit.
I wonder why would he put it down? Wait, honey bun. Okay, wait. I wonder why would he tell me that he can not allowed to open carry in Tennessee? Because I remember you
That
telling
is
me you
not
can.
true. They changed that law last. That is not true. They changed that law
What
last
is
July.
July of last year?
Yes.
On the socks. Never mind, she got him on. Okay.
Daddy.
Hey, hey,
And the SR-15, I don't have any familiarity with those. I
Hey,
mean, I
okay.
have my Smith and Wesson AR-15, and I built a couple AR-15 rifles
Sit
and
down.
AR-15 pistols that
Put it on.
uh,
Sit down.
I would put up against any of the store-built ones, and uh, but that really sucks that your brother's stuck in California. Um, Before living in Tennessee, we used to live in the communist state of New Jersey, and it was like that there too. And
And
um, when they took away all our gun rights, we decided that was the last straw. And I've been in Tennessee now for 6 years, and this is my home. I feel like I've lived here my whole life, and I'm just disappointed I didn't do this 20 years ago. But I don't know why. I don't know why any gun owner would live in the state of California. That's just it's. I know I said we weren't going to get political, Adrian, but being a gun owner and living in California is like being a liberal gun owner, voting for the people to take your gun rights away.
say
But
hi.
Hi.
hey, sweetie.
I want to go to the park.
But yeah, Frank, you're right. And I don't know if you noticed, but earlier I was gonna say something, but then we said that we were not going to. But it is hard. Get down, pumpkin. It is hard having a gun channel and not get just a little bit into the BS that politicians talk about because get down before you fall.
I want to get food.
You ask me. You don't get up there, okay?
Okay, Daddy.
Yes, I'm gonna give you some. Now wait. Okay. Well,
Well,
yeah,
last week they kind of forced us into getting political.
yeah, because that guy just kept going and going and going and going and going. He just would not stay still.
Yeah, I mean, we try not to be political, but everybody knows where we stand. But unfortunately, when you start talking about gun laws and gun rights, like we did last week, unfortunately, it does get political because one side doesn't want you to have those rights. But
One side wants you to have it, the other side does not want you to have it.
yeah, but
Wait.
I mean, I guess people live in California or New Jersey. I mean, they may have family there and jobs there, and it's not that easy to move. I mean, I get it. I mean, um, we talked about moving for quite a while before we did move to Tennessee, and um, I'll be honest with you, New Jersey's not even a distant memory to me. I haven't been there really since we moved here. I have no intention of ever going back. I never ever think about New Jersey. I mean, I miss the guys that I was friends with, but um, I don't miss living there. And uh,
Now, got a question, Frank, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let you go for the day. And thank you for having me. But I do have a question for you.
yeah,
Um, when it comes to the Glock store in Tennessee, the guy keeps saying that the store is literally like 2 miles from the airport. Have you ever been to the Glock store in Tennessee?
you know, when I was
Hold
when
on.
I was in Nashville,
Yeah, these
I
cookies.
saw the Glock store, but we were on such a tight schedule. I didn't have time. I wanted to go in just to see
Hey.
Lenny.
Okay.
I love watching Lenny's videos from the Glock
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, I just never went there. Revolvers are king. Thank you so much
Daddy,
for joining us
look.
today. I appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel, like and watch our videos. Thanks for having you, brother, and you have a
Let me
wonderful
give it.
weekend
Let me give
yourself.
it.
Thank you, brother Frank. I'll see you next
Let me
weekend.
hold it. Let me
All
put
right,
it.
brother. And revolvers are king. Thanks again, and have a great weekend yourself. It's 5:30. I will stay on longer. Thanks, revolvers. I appreciate that. If anyone has anything they want to discuss, I will stay on longer. Otherwise, I'll close this down in a minute or so. Again, I appreciate everyone that watched us here. Good talking with you all too, Fletch. A little disappointed we didn't have the turnout we did last week, but could be the weather's better. People want to be outside for one reason or another. But anyway, thank you all. We love you guys. If you're watching this stream, please subscribe, watch our videos, share our videos, leave comments that ranks us higher in the search engines. And um, the more videos you watch, the more revenue we generate and the more products we get to buy and evaluate for you guys. Love you guys. Till next time.